Hello, chat. I am back. I have a nerd top on because fuck it, I forgot to put a jumper on. But you know what? Screw it. Who cares? It's apt. I'm sitting here playing a challenge run for LobCorp. So, I have no idea where we left off. Yeah. What was actually happening? Do we still have all the birds in our facility? Let me quickly check. We do. I think we have to reset from day one again. I think we may have to do that. Well, as a welcome back to the challenge chat. Here we go again. No Abno storage this time, which is quite nice. I'm alright. I really don't care, Angela, but thank you. Anyway, yes. We're back. I should have worn my suit, honestly. Anyway. Let me... Oh, I forgot. LobCorp is the game that traps your mouse whenever you do anything. But I can... This is the first time I've streamed this, actually with a second monitor. So now... I can go to memberships. And I can check the list properly. Any advice for the crying children? For normal gameplay or any particular challenge? Because for normal gameplay I found as soon as you get ego gear, you trivialize them really. But yeah. Okay. Well, the first person on our list is, in fact... did you miss much? No, we're just starting off here. Let me... Why can I not rename them? Oh yeah, because you can't rename that person, you need to hire somebody new. First person we have new is... Piggy, welcome to the facility. I believe that's Piggy Gamer, but would you like just Piggy or Piggy Gamer? Up to you. Crusade isn't... I actually don't think Crusade's a member anymore. Just Piggy's fine? Okay. Just go for Piggy. We'll make Crusade in our time of need, but for now... Crusade is no longer a member. Surprising you didn't put the free customization mod. It doesn't really matter to me. We have more than enough. Then we're out of points, so we begin. Can we get a Dante Nugget? Later on. We've got quite a large list of members, so currently there are 43 members to get through. If you would like to join those ranks, I mean, most of you are members already, but why are so many of you members in chat? That's fine, fair enough. But if you would like to join those ranks, it costs as little as £3 a month, I think, roughly, to become a Cineteer. Although, the fuck was that? Wait, Onsen has sound? I've never heard this. Genuinely, I've never heard this. That is weird. Like, why is it so closely locational? You need to be like really, really close to it to hear it. And it's like... The Doppler effect on it is brilliant. Anyway, yeah. That is... interesting. It's like that for most... I mean, most Abnos in my experience have massive, like, sound-spreading noise. Not like there are abnos that can be with people with X hair or something. You say that like, Boulder's Awesome isn't an abno. Well, I'm gonna need to think of some more stories to tell, chat, because... Okay, I'll tell the story. So, I've been editing the Ruiner video lately. And, which you can see the first, like, draft of the intro in, Discord at the moment. I am waiting for some people to give more feedback on that. Yeah. I'm gonna try a different editing style. So, obviously, I used to go for pure, you know, straight edits. Then I went for the LobCorp stuff, I went into more putting a lot of stream footage on. So what I'm going to be trying for Ruiner is I'm going to be trying to mix the two. I'm going to be trying to... So, have an explanation, stream footage, until we get to like a landmark boss. Explanation... Well, hold on. Yeah, so explanation to start, stream footage, landmark boss, explanation, stream footage, and so on and so forth. One item depending on why does it cost extra to personalize? I don't know. It's not really that offensive, to be honest. It's like one extra lob point when you already don't want to lose agents really doesn't make that much of a difference, in my opinion. You don't say it's a good for a tier 3 nugget to grind. That's true. Okay, we'll just quickly wait for this to be done. Did they get the gift? No. Look, already up to 4 though. I know that's not very much of a difference, and my time is probably worth more than that grinding there, but still. Okay, we need to pick these guys up. Old lady is just annoying. I don't want 1.76 megahertz, and also we need to find out more about these guys. How do I skip? Was there no way... Huh, Rona just allows you to skip cutscenes. People with ADHD being distorting? Not at all. I'm fairly certain they'd be about as susceptible as everyone else. Right. Okay, let's... Next up on the list is... Drumroll please, chat. Mike, drumroll please. Memberships... We have... Dadders! Welcome to the facility, Dadders. Ta-da! Right. We can get one more. I think, because it's just higher than customized. Yeah. Right. We have... After Dadders, we have... Freedom! Freedom. There you are, Freedom. Welcome to the facility. Okay. Did you control using dialect to skip it without needing to click, just like in Library Ruiner? Huh. Interesting. Okay, I don't quite know how to work with these guys. I remember there's one of the sodas you're not supposed to use, but I can't remember which one. And if we just quickly check. They all do different things from memory, but still. Right. I should probably check these first. Okay, so yeah, work type. Okay, a red drink is emitted, so feeling heightened energy after following the test of physical health, so it was confirmed. So that's presumably this. Work 2, blue can is emitted. Can use another liquid that's highly carbonated. Restoring mental strength. Turn 4, purple. And that physical fortitude, mental strength, and ingest are both recovered. I really wish I had that one. Right, and then we'll just have data strain there. this is the Abno that gives us everyone's favorite ego, Soda Hong Lu. What's this? Is bad, do not take any drink. Okay. Good to know. So just don't get a bad work result, is what I'm hearing there. It's that simple. Soda gun. Ah yes, if only we could use any ego whatsoever. Soda! Okay. Right. That's actually a decent trainer, to be honest. Especially considering we need health and mental fortitude for the beginning of the game. I mean, we need health and mental fortitude for any point in the game, to be honest. And if someone ever offers you an already open can of Welch's, you most definitely should not drink it. Good to know. Coops, did Gebura attack you? No, Gebura has not attacked me. Right. Okay. Yeah, so the editing thing. I am curious to see how it turns out, because it will be a slightly different style to how I normally edit, and it may take me a while to go through the... I mean, we've got, what, 12 plus hours of Philip alone, so, you know, it may take a while. But fingers crossed it's good when it's done. Fingers crossed people like it, too, to be honest. I'm honestly not sure which of Project Moon games are the most popular. Because, I mean, so, Limbus Company is probably the most popular just in a general way, but I don't think it has quite the same cult fan base that the other two do. And I think Ruiner may be the more popular game. Potentially. Then again, I've got no evidence to back this up. That's purely how I feel about the things I've seen, so, you know. The on-crit conditions are basically triggered due to having no poise on Honglu IDs, yeah. Very funny. What a good ego. What a well-designed ego. Actually, let's end the work bit here. Yep. Great. I don't want you. I really don't... God. You're a good justice trainer. I just have to remember how to work with you correctly. You just alternate, right? You alternate between repression and attachment. Right, next up on the list we have Soul. Welcome to the facility, Soul. And then after Soul we have Alt Tab. I don't understand why it's so much easier to like move your mouse away from Ruiner, but not this. Right, after Soul, we have... I really wish I could stop being fought to go down. YouTube, please, I just want to see my members. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, like Potato Crumb. I forgot I kept those on. I should probably... keeping it on's fine. Okay, it is... If YouTube would let me see... If YouTube would let me see... Why does it keep scrolling itself back up? I don't understand. Silver William. Okay, Silver William is next up. Silver William. There we are. Right, this is just alternate. Anyone can work on this, and then I'll just have you train that. Brilliant. Surprised I didn't go to the end and do all the Hotmina's missions for the increased cap and so. It's because a lot of people died to Apocalypse Bird. How's the order of Nugget creation going? So, everybody in Nugget tier gets made first, then it's in order of when they were here. Then it is everyone in Sinner tier, and then after that it's everyone in... well, no. It's Nugget, Librarian, Sinner. Yeah, there we are. That's why I was confused, because the words weren't lining up how I meant them to. So yeah, if you want to have a guaranteed place in the facility, then you've pretty much got to go Nugget. Because otherwise it's just going off how long you've been a member for. How long you've been a member for continuously, it's not a rate of, like, first thing. Coops. What do you mean, Coops? What am I doing wrong? And then for you, let's try again. Either it's already, I guess, once you unlock them once, forever unlocked. Yeah, yeah. All the upgrades you get once they're unlocked, they remain unlocked. We just haven't fully expanded this, so we can't use them yet. That's not to buy nugget while being in the vid. No idea, sorry. My English is not Englishing today, I have no idea what that means. Piggy, you can go walk there. Driven jump from this type of gameplay to live runner. I think it's because, I mean, Kim Chun wanted to make an auto battler at first. I think he's always wanted to make a gacha game. So the management sim was just what he could make. Then when he moved over to Library Ruiner, that was what he wanted to make. And, you know, there and then on, it just sort of went like that. Uncontrolled. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's not in first mode. So you can do that. Random go up there. If a Lobotomy, you're basically completely blind during this challenge. Ah, that's alright. I explain most things going on. Lobotomy's a good game, honestly. I do really enjoy it. The story isn't as good as Ruiners, in my opinion, but I mean, that's fine. It was the first story. It has a little bit of leeway. Let's go for free down here. Should there be a ×10 speed? For the intended gameplay of the game, I don't think it's necessary. When you do start grinding things, then, I mean, you'd want one, but it's outside the scope of the game, so I can see why there wouldn't be one. Frustration, what the hell's wrong with you? That's very fair. That is very fair. This is, what, third time restarting over to day one by now, I think? Because the first time round, we went until we got Hod done, and then the second time round, we went until we got Apocalypse Bird done. I couldn't quite remember what I was doing after Apocalypse Bird, so I just decided to reset to day one again. Because, you know, why not? Okay, after one more work with Beauty and the Beast, I think I'm going to call the day there. Because this is pretty decent for grinding. We don't... I mean, this is our only really good trainer at the moment, I think. Okay, I have no idea how XP works in this game. Thank God that uncontrollable doesn't kill them. That was nearly a mistake. Right, cool. That's fine. Yeah, no, I have no idea how XP works. Let's grab this. This is Heart of Aspiration, right? Oh, well, yeah, you can hold control down. Lobotomy Corporation is way better than Ruiner. Really? Okay. Chat, is it the time in the stream where I start... Oh, it's this thing. Can we can't actually use this thing, can we? From memory... I mean, okay, we need energy first, so let me just quickly get some energy. See, but yes, would you like me to go through why I like Ruiner so much? Because Ruiner's story, I feel, is far, far, far better written, due to the themes it covers. So, the thing with Ruiner... So, LobCorp's story is decent enough. It follows a, you know, basic, like, path of, you know, you do stuff. The ludonarrative, harmony in this game is far better. The story lines up with how the game plays far better here. But the thing with Ruiner is, in Ruiner, it's... So not only do you have the wider narrative, you have the way the game is structured itself. The 4 different tracks, all are actually individual explorations of what it means to be human. So you've got the burn track, which is the exploration of love. You've got whether or not... well, it's the argument against the fact that, on the right, it's the argument against that your actions are free of consequences of other people. The middle left is coping with... Or it's talking about whether or not it's good to turn to, you know, basic escapist methods and get rid of your free will as a way to cope with loss. And then the furthest left one is the saying that it's not a good thing to give up your free will to other people. You should fight to keep your own independence. And so the really interesting thing about all of that is that you don't need to notice that the game's doing all of that, but what it is doing really subtly is making this entire argument where, in the start of the game, the bottom track, I don't know why I'm gesturing, it's the thing isn't on screen, but the start of the game initializes all of these arguments. You get Angela and Roland going, oh yeah, this, that. You know, you shouldn't get too attached to people in the city. It's bad for you. And then you have stuff like they introduced Lulu as the first character in the burn track to demonstrate that. And then as time goes on, you gradually see through this progress to the One True Book, they begin to realize that they're wrong. All of their statements are wrong about things. They come to terms with that, and that's demonstrated in the characters you see. For example, the burn track is the one that I think is the best done. I think the burn is just fundamentally... So, they introduced the character of Lulu really early on in the burn track. As in, before that, you know, once you get to the Urban Nightmare, Star of the City stuff, you introduce Lulu, and Lulu is the first person we see who actually cares for somebody, and, you know, she things don't turn out too well for her. But it starts off demonstrating to you the idea of sacrificing yourself for those you care for, and all of that sort of stuff. And that's really interesting, because then you see those themes, which are paralleled slightly later on in Philip. And Philip is the second character in the burn track, and he takes all of that sacrificing yourself for your friends, and he's a very different character to Lulu. He's more like, he doesn't immediately throw himself at the library, but he still does go back and throw himself at the library again. And he sacrifices himself once again, and you can see him begin to... Okay, spoilers for anybody... Okay, for anybody who doesn't know Library of Ruina, I will, I don't know, clap when spoilers are done. Because I'm just going to quickly go over the burn track. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so, and he begins to manifest because he realizes that the selfish ways he was acting were wrong, and through that, through the, like, love, he begins to decide that, actually, no, I should fight against this, I should fight for who I care for, I should deny what the city says is right. And then, of course, he ends up distorting because he gets corrupted and loses his way by Pluto and Oswald. But then you see, further on in the burn track, you then have the story played out again in Zhao, and Zhao is used as a counterpiece to both Lulu and Philip. Because she's cold to begin with, she's not like Lulu's, you know, burning rage, or Philip's later on burning rage, but when she loses Lowell, she suddenly decides that, actually, no, I should fight for what's right, and she ends up properly manifesting, and in the end, although she does end up getting booked, she fought for those she cared for, thus denying the thing that we started with Roland saying, you shouldn't get too close to people in the city. Anyway, clapping just so the people that didn't want spoilers can come back to the chat. Right. And I think that that's just a small example of what Ruina does. That's just one of the tracks, and I've explained it very poorly. I do a better job of explaining it later, and I'm actually thinking about making a video essay about it. But that's the entirety of Library of Ruina. It is so well written. It just... What it does is so clever, and that including all the literary references it makes as well. It's so true to the source material, despite it uses the source material in its own way to create an interesting narrative, but it is in itself still very similar to the source material. Which is incredible considering the source material is a work of fiction about a paladin in Charlemagne's court. I may not have been a suppression. Prayer. I don't mean that I don't mean that on any abno, I just mean, I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, to be honest. Question. What's your question? Did I fully research them? I did. Favorite death-sensitive abno? Favorite death-sensitive abno? That's a good question. I actually don't mind Queen of Hatred. I think she's not as annoying as a lot of people think she is. I've definitely forgotten and lost a lot of agents to her from time to time, but I really don't think she's that bad. So love got personal because I've changed my opinion on romantic love. See, that's... Yeah, I mean, that's... Actually, that's quite interesting. I'm curious now, actually. How did Lobotomy Corporation change their opinions on romantic love? I'm not like trying to argue with you. I'm fascinated here. I'm curious how that led you to that. Because I really like hearing other people's opinions on media. Because I think, and this is definitely something that the PM community struggles with a little bit, but I think the best way to get the story out of Project Moon's games is to discuss them with other people. And so I think it is an important thing to go, oh wow, you got something out of the story that I didn't. Well, how? What led you to get to that point? So yeah, if you don't mind sharing, I'd love to hear it. Actually, I should probably wait for somebody to heal up a bit more. Okay, I'm gonna let all these works run out and then we can end the day. There we are. Yep, up to level 5 there. Very nice. Very nice. No per comments looking at anything. The story did briefly go into that love thing. Yeah, okay. Sounds good. I will say as well quickly, whilst you do type out that answer. Very much a lot for others. No, I didn't. You helped me start saying no. Well, that's good. Yeah. I definitely think... Oh god, what was I going to say? I got utterly sidetracked there. I think Library of Ruin is quite nice for explaining why Angela is the way she is. It does tie up her story quite nicely. Why didn't Abno get extracted? We are full up on Abnos. You have 5 days, you have 4 days of abnormalities, then a 5th day, 4 days, 5th day, 4 days, 5th day, rest. You despise Philip. I think Philip is a really misunderstood character that gets flanderized by the community quite a bit. I think he is actually one of the most interestingly written characters that Project Moon has. There's definitely a few characters like that actually in Project Moon games that most people just go, oh haha, funny XYZ person. Missing the entire point of their character. You hit him as a fight most of the second one. Do you mean Wedge Office or do you mean Crying Children? Because after having spent 13 hours on him as Wedge Office on the solo challenge, yeah, I could see the hatred. Can you add any Abnos breach here? No, none of them can. I might actually just get the next day. Falling in love with us for a common name, falling in love that really touched my heart in some way. Beside everything, still found room and love them. Ah, that's actually quite sweet. God, stop giving me these Abnos. They're not good. Old lady at least will be in a non-breaching position, so I won't have to care about her. The most annoying thing is you never want to work with her, and then she just damages you when you do. Okay, let me just quickly... Next up, we have, if YouTube would like to stop resetting to the top of the screen every time... Okay, hold on. Okay. Silvo is up next. Silvo, welcome to the facility, Silvo. And after Silvo, we're now moving on to Librarian tier. So we have Chico, let me make sure I'm spelling that right. Sushiko, and Trio Panda. Welcome to the facility, all of you. Right. We're in a fan select log court realizations more. That's that's fair, actually. I definitely think... I don't know. I like the realizations in both. I think the realizations in LobCorp are conceptually more interesting, but I feel like the execution of the realizations is more interesting in Ruina. What's up with Delilah? Delilah is not a member. Therefore, Delilah shall not be added to the facility. If somebody named Delilah happens to become a Nugget tier member right now, we will add Delilah to the facility. However, I don't... Is there anybody named Delilah who just has the Delilah name on YouTube? Rona being a boss rush is fun. Yeah, I think it's... Hypernora moments is the best way I can describe it. It's cool to just have... Like, after all the realizations, that final, climactic moment of everything you've done culminating in a final, you know, push towards making them realize that particular... the lessons they've learned through all that. And I think that's quite nice. I think that ties things together nicely. Course expression just not fun except Bina and Gebura. I forgot we had these now. I can agree with you there for Hod. I don't think Hod is particularly fun. But I actually do quite like, I do quite like someone, like Malkuth. I really like Malkuth. Because the fact that you actually have to get a clipboard out for Malkuth's realization is brilliant environmental storytelling. Or, not really environmental storytelling, but, you know, you get the idea. They're going to be fine. Great. How many cores are left? We've done 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then final ones. Right. Hokmar is... I think Hokmar's... The interesting thing about Hokmar is just the fact that it screws with your muscle memory. I don't know why I'm paused. There's nothing in this facility that can harm me if I keep this game unpaused. You like Roland's story the most because I'm an ancient literature nerd, seeing how they took the Roland from the original and made the story fit into the city so well. I really like that about Roland too. Because I mean, I didn't know about... I knew about, obviously, the Paladins of Charlemagne, because, you know, I'm a history nerd. But it was interesting to see how they adapted them to the city, and especially not just taking Orlando Furioso, which is... I mean, that's the major inspiration for Roland's character in Ruina, but also took parts of... oh god, I looked this up yesterday. Not yesterday, I looked this up last stream of how to pronounce it. Immemorio? It's not it's not Immemento. It might be Immemorio. Oh, pardon me, he started writing a clip during realization after realizing doing the job of Malkuth. Yeah, it's so cool. It was the first time around, I was like, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to remember all these randomized things? And then I started writing on paper, and it's like, wow, okay, hold on. I get it. I get what they're going for here. And it's kind of a shame none of the rest of them are like that. But, yeah. How does one possibly get added to the company? If you join, the member... I don't know where the button would be for that, because I can't see the thing. But if you join the membership system as either Nugget or Librarian tier, you are very likely to be added. If you join a different tier than that, you may eventually get added, but it's no guarantee because it goes in order of time. It goes rank and then time in rank. So yeah. Seemingly the positions are Angela and Roland, Spectre and Dalek are A and R respectively. Distinctive shadows, truly incredible. What does Malkuth's realization even do to your game? The other one. So. I'll go through what all of them do. So Malkuth's realization makes it so every meltdown, all work orders are randomized. I don't want you... I'm not... They can't escape without me wanting them to escape. So yes, so Malkuth randomizes work orders every meltdown. Then you have Yesod. Yesod is obviously the low quality. Hod lowers all your stats to the point where you can no longer really work with anything. Then Netsack stops healing from other than whenever it moves down a meltdown tier. Tifreth is just an extra long day. Gebura is obviously Gebura boss fight. Shased multiplies the damages of specific stuff, or random stuff during each meltdown. And then Hokma stops you from pausing. If you pause, an agent dies, and also he sets the speed. And then Bina is a boss fight. And that's that. Anyway, next up, we have Green Cloaker. Welcome to the facility. I hope you don't mind, but I'm not going to type out all the additional capitalization in your name. Shot more from puns of Charlemagne, because... yeah, it would be interesting to see... I mean, it would be interesting to see Charlemagne themselves. To be honest. You with Tifreth's realization did more. That's fair. That's fair. I think they're interesting. I mean, no, I don't. I'm trying to be generous to everything, but no, they're not interesting. Not really in the slightest, to be honest. Because they're just literally an extra long day, that's it. And then everything can melt down. So spin doesn't let you pause sounds the most fun. They're common... well, I don't know if they're commonly regarded as the worst one. They're commonly regarded as the hardest one, I think. Mainly just because by that point in the game, you're so just tuned to whenever a meltdown happens, pause, see what's going on, that it does just become... yeah, all your employees are about to die. So Shiko, you can work there. Biggie, continue to work there. Dadas, continue, no. I need to remember these can happen now. Right, okay. Let me pay attention to these. Honestly, the clerks might have that covered, to be honest, though. Here we can always... I mean, there's no real reason to juke. I could do, but I don't need to. I don't like having you blocked, actually, so I'm going to grab them and move them there, just so I can see. You lot are all fine. Great. Swap them out. Silver take over. All of you lot, frankly, can you come down and help with this? Game at max speed without pausing. See, I didn't find that was too hard of a challenge, mentally, for me. So what I wanted to do, actually, would be, can you beat 4 instances of Lobotomy Corporation without pausing? That was a challenge I wanted to take on at some point. I don't know if it would be remotely possible, but I think it would make for an interesting one. The problem is, I don't know how I'd launch multiple instances of Lobotomy Corporation at once. That's the only real hitch there. I do actually have another Lobotomy Corporation / Ruiner inspired thing. I believe, I'm not sure if Ziol is still in this, the chat at the moment, but they're working on an archipelago randomizer for this, and I'm not sure if Ruiner has one. Because if they do, then I'm going to try and convince Welvada. I need to just ask them. I need to ask them how to pronounce their name, because I have no idea. I'm going to try and convince them to do a randomizer of the games. No documentation makes you go crazy. Very fair. I imagine that would be annoying to try and do. Buy 4 different monitors and play Lobotomy Corporation. I'd have to buy 4 different PCs too. Or 4 different Steam accounts, I suppose. So what the difficulty of LobCorp ties into the story. That is fair, actually. So that's definitely the thing I think LobCorp does best. Ludonarrative harmony. which is basically just a fancy word to say how well the game feels like how the story says it should feel. We're doing immune to red damage. I have no light, nothing there escapes, or an ordeal. We die. Well, depends on the one. Because, you know, like Burrowing Heaven, we had a strategy video with Burrowing Heaven, because they take damage upon teleport, which you can use to kill them using a cheese strat. Or not cheese strat, just a different strategy. There's already one from Zet, no? I'm not sure. Because, I mean, if there are other archipelagos already in... I know there are randomizers for the games. I'm not sure if there's archipelago randomizers for the games. Because the idea would specifically be to do an archipelago randomizer of Lobcorp and Ruiner. Actually, we're not working with them for the rest of the day. Just thought myself, no, I don't think I will. We've already had Carmen in the chat for a while now. It'd take a little bit more than that to cause me to distort. There is a Library Ruiner archipelago. So yeah, it would just have to be Lobcorp. Right, after this I'll probably end the day. Did you ever actually beat Apocalypse Bird? Yes, yes I did. That would be what the video, the quest to beat Apocalypse Bird, was about. For some reason, I don't know why. Okay, like, hold on, let me pull this up. Because I can just, I bring up my videos. So, manage videos. We have, on one hand, hold on. How do I check? Here we are. And then on the other, I'll quickly bring up. So, on one hand, we have. Here is, can you guys see this? Oh god, that looks bright on the video. Anyway, let's see, 70,000 views. Which actually, in quite a large part, is due to the fact that suddenly, just for some reason, they started ramping up again towards the end. But then, if I bring over the second video in the series, it has considerably less. It used to have far, far less. Like, it was sitting around 15,000 for a while, and then in recent times it started going up far quicker. But yeah, it hasn't done quite as well as the original one. Anyway, good morning. Good morning. It's afternoon for me, but, you know, good morning for you. Let's... I mean, we do have to get every new, I don't know, John ideal. Because in episode 2 where they drop off. That's true. I mean, that's the reason why, outside of, like, old-school RuneScape creators, most people who do challenge runs just name the second parts differently. Didn't I only do 2 eggs? No, I killed all 3, I just couldn't finish the day. But I did kill it the first time round. Why in the world? Sorry, hold on. I was just checking the thing to get the members thing, and I just saw a video from Arty Game called "We Won Against YouTube." I don't know what that means, but I guess I'll find out after this is done. Right, librarian. The next librarian is Alyssa Romantic. Alyssa Romantic. Oh, that's lowercase romantic. There we are. Welcome to the facility. This in second part of a challenge run. Iron Hive uses balloons, TD6, no war criminals. That's an actual run. How in the world do you do this, by the way? Okay, I'm just going to quickly run this to see how we do this. Why do we day 1 again? Because Apocalypse Bird killed a bunch of people. How's the Limbus guide done in views? It's done quite well, actually. Yeah. They become a vivid love letter. Ah, that's fair. That's fair. I remember they did I can't remember if they did No War Criminals Undertale, which I didn't really enjoy, because it felt like after a while they were just beginning to take the piss a bit with stuff. Did you miss the stream? No, I don't think so. I mean, so we didn't kill Apocalypse Bird on the winning attempt. We killed Apocalypse Bird and then I couldn't end the day. But we did kill Apocalypse Bird. Should I trade 11 revolvers for mind powers or a railgun? With no context, that's rather strange. Oh, okay, so it is instinct. Last video of the Limbus Guide duel. Yes, it did. Does this chance we farm ego gifts? No, not really. Probably not. I mean, I will try and get ego gifts, because, I mean, everybody tries to get ego gifts for stuff. That's just a good thing to do. But I won't, like, go out of my way to do it. Okay, we've got to be careful, because we're about to have to deal with the Dawn again. What's my goal for this run? True ending, mostly. It's from the base suit to the base weapon more. I'd have to say base suit. Base weapon is fine, we can just sort of, you know, bunch up. Oh, what is it? Ah, yeah. We can just sort of bunch up and it's perfectly fine. The problems begin to start when we have to work with higher end, you know, abnormalities, because we need to start doing interesting strategies to not just explode instantly. Alright, let's get that. Is that going to cause? No, that's going to cause a meltdown. Everybody get ready. I'll wait for them to leave and then go. Hello, welcome to the stream. Shell Galaxy's ego gift would be incredibly beneficial, right? It's decent. It's pretty decent. It's just a pair of glasses. It's red eyes. I needed to be in a realization without ego, or do research. So, okay, research uncensored. So for research uncensored, what we can do is, do you know the portrait? Oh, when was the reset? We just reset today. Core suppressions do save between runs, yeah. So, the way we can work with higher tier abnormalities is by using the portrait. Now, the good thing about the portrait is it causes damage to be moved onto a different person. Now, you can't just put them in the shelter, because, like, there's problems behind that, but what you can do is you can put shield bullets on them, the people that are outside of it, and then they can tank the damage for the people inside working with people. Or, I mean, you could just be insane like Crusade and casually only get 2 failures when working with Censored. That has happened to us before. Of course, most people aren't as, you know, insanely goated as Crusade are, so, you know, we have the portrait strategy for the rest of them. Right, let's grab that for that. Dadis can grab that. Looks like a great strat. Yeah, it's rather good. I probably should get Crusade in the facility. I haven't added them because they're not a member anymore, but I mean, they're a classic. You can only hope to be as good as Crusade was. I'm sure you will be. I'm sure you will be. Right, okay, let me wait for these to finish and then we'll finish up for the day. Right. Okay. Okay, machine, I don't want tree. We're not really going to use the machine either, but, you know, that's okay, why not? How far have we gone suppression-wise? We've done NetSec. Oh, okay, we've done the entire upper floors. Hello, Crusade. You're still not a member, by the way, so you will not be added to the facility just yet. Sure, if Venus did not phase change, she'll be forced to go through the entirety of extraction again. I mean, I'm honestly not sure how we'll do it. I think rabbits are quite effective at dealing with them, but we'll see when we get there. Right, so Shiko, continue working there. I want to train there. That works there. Continue training there. Continue training there. Nah, great. Crusade was the one who killed the last egg, right? Well, Crusade's just all-round goated. So Crusade, the list of accolades that, or I should say accurately Mini Crusade, but the list of accolades that Crusade has had is keeping a hold of Queen of Hatred, just like actually being insane when it came to Queen of Hatred. Managing to be the last survivor of Apocalypse Bird and nearly ending out the day after I killed them. God, what else has Mini Crusade done? Just flat out succeeding to work against Censored. Oh, I forgot. And then a lot more. Crusade is absolutely goated. Truly the main character, and we will not have them in this facility for now. I would like it if you could stop saying you're relaxed. It really doesn't make me relaxed to not be able to see your health. Okay, and then I'm honestly just going to wait. We've got no reason to care about clerks. We've got no members of, like, the clerks... clerk rights activist groups here. I have to pay attention to Freedom, but otherwise should be fine. Ow. Then we can just wait for them. Yeah. All it takes is getting lucky with hitting them, and then we're, you know, sorted. Right, here we go. All of you head down here now. That would actually be quite nice, that gift. Which Clerks rights activist member is the worst? I think... Mountainous Smiling Bodies has the ability to spiral out of control really easily, and I'd say that probably makes them one of the worst. Purely because if you're just not paying attention, then, you know, say bye-bye to the day. The rest of them are mostly recoverable. Like, Big Bird is no problem. Big Bird is quite easy to deal with, but yeah, screw up a work there. Say bye-bye to the entire day. Continue working with them. CRA, Clerks Rights Activist Group. Well, the G is missing, but... Clerks Rights Activists is probably the way to say that. Great. Okay, we'll just end the day quickly. There we are. Let's wait for Spiderbud to finish up. Here we go. What a day. We really probably should just skip 3 days until we get to Tiferet. I mean, even after we get to Tiferet. Hello there, Angela. High-res Angela jump scare. Terrifying. It's interesting how that gets introduced as like an idea in this game to go, yeah, that's why the art styles are cartoony, and it never gets brought up again. Just everyone else has that same exact art style for no reason. Smiling Bodies is weak to red. Counterpoint, it's Mountain of Smiling Bodies. Are you talking specifically for the challenge? Because frankly, basically all of them are terrible for the challenge. Shall I ruin a look like that? Be interesting, actually. I think it would detract from the game, to be honest. Okay, let's get a work off with Void Dream again, and then we'll wait, because it's just Purple Dawn. I mean, frankly, we've got enough damage to kill Purple Dawn at this point if I just send, like, Silver William there. Then you lot go beat the hell out of them, you lot go beat the hell out of them. Anyway, there we are. Easy as. Day stream, I just came back from walk with your mum with ice cream. Ready to see him out being. That sounds quite nice. I mean, it's actually, okay, surprisingly, it's not too warm here in Britain at the moment. It's actually quite pleasant, which is a nice change from the actually melting I've had to experience over the past, you know, few weeks. Are we allowed to? Yeah, we're allowed to do that. Okay. This challenge of pure skill and gambling. Actually, okay, as strange as it might sound, this is the most skill-based challenge I've done today. Yeah, this is the most skill-based challenge I've done, maybe ignoring the Deltarune challenge. The Deltarune challenge is probably slightly more skill-based than this, but this is genuinely the most skill-based. Just gotta ask how the recent ban's been affecting you. I'm not sure if YouTube allows me to say all the different things you can do to get around the bans, but not at all, really. They're annoying, but like, just to quickly, as you know, a topic of conversation, let me list off some of the things you can do to get around the bans. No. Here are things you should absolutely not do under any circumstances just to avoid getting around the Ofcom bans. You really shouldn't do these. I'm not telling you to... It's like, you know, in Prohibition, when they said, don't put the wine bricks in a dark place after placing it in a thing of water, or else you'll make wine. I'm not telling you how to get around them, I'm telling you what you shouldn't do. For starters, you should disable your VPN, because if you have a VPN set to literally anywhere else, they don't apply. They don't even show up. So you really shouldn't do that. You should also make sure that when you're inputting your ID for a proper verification, you shouldn't take just a photo of an ID off the internet, because, you know, every ID works, and we've really got to make sure you use the correct one and not just anybody who's anybody's ever posted. Or, if you don't feel like committing ID fraud, you really shouldn't put a photo of, you know, Death Stranding? You know the main guy from... There's a photo mode in Death Stranding. You can use a photo of the guy from Death Stranding in photo mode to get around the bans. It's brilliant. It's insane. It's so poorly thought out. Genuinely, it doesn't work at all, in the slightest. But yeah, so the answer to the question how the ban's been affecting me, they haven't. They really haven't. You can do basically anything you like to get around them. It's honestly... It's comedic how easy it is to get around them. They're going to achieve absolutely nothing, and yet they're going to be... They've already been used, however, to stop people talking about strikes. Strikes have been shut down by people, by the British government for certain young people by saying they're harmful content that they shouldn't be learning about. So, you know, business as usual on the government front. Great name, sir. The One Who Drips. It's a creative exercise, yeah. It, like, you'd hope it'd at least be a little bit hard to get around, but no. Oh, no, it takes half a second. Not even. There was a very funny Sky News thing I saw, because I was just scrolling the, checking different news sites, because I was curious to see what other people were saying about the topic. And they got one where they got white hat hackers to see how quickly they could get around it, and you could see the utter disdain in their eyes when Sky was like, okay, let's see how quickly you can get around this bans, and without even pausing, the person just flipped the computer to them and went, they're done. Because they don't even show up if you use a VPN. It's so easy to get around. Because they weren't obviously allowed to say you can get around them with a VPN, because Sky News wouldn't be very happy if they, you know, publicly broadcast a way to get around a governmental, you know, thing. But yeah, no, a VPN gets around them. Literally anything you can care to do can get around them. And if you really want to be technical, you can just Control I to open up Inspect Element, and then if there's a thing that you want to work around for, just look up XYZ workaround, and there's like a 99% chance somebody will have already figured out the HTML to work around the thing. To be honest, you could probably just right-click Inspect, delete the box, and it would probably get rid of it for you. Are we talking about the bans in the UK? Yes, we are talking about the bans in the UK. I'm talking about what you shouldn't do to avoid the bans in the UK, because that would be illegal. I think it's illegal. I'm informing the public of what they shouldn't be doing, because I'm a good YouTuber, clearly. Just like the fact that ad blockers are free and available to get on basically anything, and although uBlock Origin may have been depreciated in recent times, people really shouldn't know that uBlock Lite still has all the same functionalities, because that would be bad and would remove profit from YouTube. You know. So you really shouldn't use them, despite how free and easy to access they are, and how much they make the viewing experience on YouTube, about 10 times more enjoyable, Just keep that in mind, folks. Oh god, interesting times we live in. Alright, you go over there. I'm gonna just quickly get everyone back into one central thing before I send them here, because these ones are annoying. Talking in a bad mad. It's perfectly fine. I mean, I hate that too. I hate watching ads. Like, okay, I have a story to tell. So my dad was in the advertising industry for quite a while when I was a kid. And the thing that stuck with me the most from what he said was, nobody likes ads. He hates ads. Everybody hates ads. It was his job to make them, and he despised them. And which is the reason why all good ads, you can't tell are ads. The best ads are enjoyable to watch. But yeah, that just stuck with me as something that, yeah, nobody likes ads. Why would anybody like ads? You'd have to be insane to like... So even as a YouTuber, I hate ads. I don't watch ads. They're annoying, they get in the way. So yeah, no, if anybody wants to use an ad blocker, feel free, honestly. Like, I'll make less money from the videos, yeah, sure, but like, I don't care. If there's any other way you can support the channel, like, I don't know, sharing the videos, that'd be quite nice, but don't feel pressure to watch ads. They're awful. I keep them on, obviously, because they're like the major way I make money off videos, but if you don't want to watch them, don't watch them. It's quite simple. You like ads from Red Bull. That's interesting. I like Red Bull's sponsorships. I don't quite like their ads. UK should ban photorealistic games that can't be used to bypass the ID verification. Good idea. We should return to roguelikes. True roguelikes. If you could give my nuggets the clerk pistol, would I? Absolutely. That thing is better than my weaponry. I'd love that thing. Also, once again, just have to clarify. The person you can see there with Onsin's ego weapon isn't using it. Because it's a weird visual glitch. LobCorp is weird, don't worry about it. I've been over this before, but yeah. Look, see, this clerk is absolutely got that covered. Can't you just AI generate a face? To be honest, you probably could. To be honest. The unsponsored segments you watch are from Reggie because of how unhinged they are. That is very fair. Is it ranged or does it have better damage? Yes, both of the above. I honestly don't know how I'm going to tackle sponsor segments. I've already made the promise to myself that when I do get a sponsor, unless it's like a sponsor I actually believe in, I will give people a timestamp for when the sponsorship section ends. Because I dislike most sponsors. Most sponsors come off as fake to me. Why do we dare one reset? A bunch of people have died to Apocalypse Bird. The UK now wants everyone to verify for everything. Everything, they're restricting a lot of things, and then they want people to age verify for stuff. Like, some of it's reasonable, but it's not going to do anything. And then others are just downright stupid. Like, Wikipedia is going to be restricted for certain harmful content. It's stupid. It makes no sense. Nothing about it is a good change. The only person I think who feels good about it is the guy who put it in place. Would you have beaten the birds at the end of the day if you had guns? No. No. No, I don't think so. Of course, your favorite Spady code, yeah. LobCorp is like, it's the equivalent of discovering a new disease. Every single bug is unique, and it's cool because you get to name them, but it's bad because nobody will ever be able to help you with them. Okay, so to answer your question, Crusade, because I'm not sure if I can say that without getting demonetized, frankly, I don't think it's going to change anything. They're saying, oh yeah, age verification is going to stop children from accessing harmful material. No. To be frank, I haven't tried it, but you probably just could look up stuff like that and just look at images. Like, the images tab on Google exists. I genuinely don't think it's going to stop anyone. It's terrible. It's a poorly thought out change that doesn't work. And then, yeah, VPNs. Everybody can bypass it. It's not... I think the spirit of the change is good. The idea behind the change is noble. Although I don't think it's going to do it. I feel it's a little bit too... It's assuming children are too childish, but it's a little bit too naive. However, the way they've gone about it is terrible. It doesn't work. It's not even a case of just being, oh yeah, restricting my it doesn't work. It's not strict enough to appease people that want strict regulations on internet material. And it's too lax to stop anybody from doing anything. Which it's a useless change. Like, genuinely, the only person I have seen happy with it is the guy who put the measures in place. He's the only person I've ever seen complimenting it. But yeah, it's an interesting time in the world right now, especially with that and, like, Collective Shout doing interesting things with payment processes. You know, good time for the internet. Truly. Did they just not turn around? I really thought they did. Yeah, also, who wants to give their ID away to websites? I'm the sort of person that will always deny all cookies on websites. I don't care how annoying it is to do. I will always do that. I'm just that sort of person. So yeah, no, hell no, I'm not giving my ID to websites. Fuck that. Okay, Piggy, let's move over here. Let's just quickly do some kiting. Yeah, unless it's absolutely necessary, I try not to give information to most websites. I mean, the thing is, with most cookies, you can just, if they've got something where you go to reject and they take you a different page, just backspace. It doesn't trigger twice and you can just get around it. That's how I read The Guardian. Because The Guardian has something where they're like, yeah, please, like, either subscribe or, you know, take personalized ads. Just click reject ads, then back away. It's that simple. How the hell did Soul die? Oh no, they're taking damage there. Oh. I should have questioned why they weren't moving. Whoops. Can't you just open an incognito? It still opens up. I mean, you still have cookies for the duration of the time it's running. I did not know they were getting hit. That was an avoidable death. Talking about the new internet restrictions in England. Yeah, we are. Poor people always said never give your information on the internet. All companies requesting your information. Yeah. One rule for me and one for thee. Right, okay. I'm gonna quickly tell everyone to go home. Just because I want to be able to stop the funny jesters after they're done here. Yeah, there will be problems. Absolutely. It's going to be terrible. There's going to be some sort of data breach eventually. You're just going to see in the news, like, billions of people's personal information has now been accessed. It's... and if the fallout is going to be drastic. But, you know... when has a government reform ever been well thought out, eh? That would require foresight, which they don't have. Somebody play the Benny Hill music here. Or... I don't know what music would be at. There we are. So you lot, go kill this one. You lot, go kill this one. You're actually not giving it the vital information to... yeah. No, it's stupid. Nobody would do that. I would hope nobody would do that. It would be a stupid move to do that. I would hope nobody is that desperate. I understand there are idiots that fall for scams from that sort of stuff, but you'd hope most people have some common sense and choose not to do that. Like, maybe it's not a good idea to give that up. Potentially. You know? Just a thought. Just a thought. I'm gonna quickly... all of you should probably run before that thing... okay, it didn't kill anyone, thankfully. Only somebody under 18 would be stupid enough to give away their ID like that. Yeah. I understand you're saying that jokingly, but honestly, yeah. Yeah. Right, let's just end the day here. I'll quickly rehire Sol because I accidentally, screwed up and didn't realize they were getting hit there. Which one's this? Would it be Bloodbath? We already had Bloodbath, so I don't know why they'd be like that. Oh, okay. I may be too far gone. I know precisely which abnormality that is based on the description. Oh. Yeah, that's fair. Smack right, a corporation's like with a Eurodivvy. True. Honestly, the Eurodivvy are quite interesting in the fact that so far the only crime it really seems like Eurodivvy have committed is just not being good at their job. It doesn't seem like they're doing anything really malicious, it's just they're bad at organizing a revolution. That's about it. Like, the rest of the N-Corp frauds are like, oh yeah, evil, blah blah blah, and then you've just got this one guy he's just a communist. That's just flat out, he's just a communist. He committed no wrongdoing. He's just a communist. The sinner that was allied with him has committed more wrong than that man. Anyway, welcome to the team Lobotomy. But so, Eurodivvy are just waiting, doing nothing. Yeah, that is true. Well, I mean, no, okay, they're doing some things, kind of. Not much, sure, I'll give you that. They're trying. They're doing badly, but they're trying. Not you. You already maxed attachment. They do regularly commit small-scale crimes we see in T-Corp. Whilst that's true, I mean, it's kind of hard to have a revolution against an organized government if you don't commit a few crimes against the government. Like, peaceful... Oh, I forgot. Yeah, peaceful revolution is quite a hard thing to pull off. Eurodivvy are literally just waiting until Sonya gives the go-ahead. A lot of them are growing discontent due to that, though. There's a growing undercurrent of wanting to take change. I mean, that's the reason why Rogia did what they did. They were unhappy with the amount of time it was taking, and so, you know, murdered their landlady and her sister. As you do. Common occurrence, right, chat? Let's have nobody do that. I do really like the tracks in LobCorp. I think The realization tracks in Ruiner are good, but I love the realization tracks in LobCorp. They're so good. And the way they build on each other is... I would have to say, I think the realization tracks in LobCorp are better than most Limbus Millie songs for climactic final moments. And that might be an unpopular opinion to say, but I think just the way they build is so perfect. You lot go over here. Trout of the Galaxy appears to not be having a good time. Right then. In Limbus did Roger murder the sister of the debt collector? We're not told. It's not told to us. I'm just assuming she is, because it would explain why Roger's so upset. Because, like, Roger's entire character is that there's something going on with her that hasn't been told to us. So I think it would be interesting to have a sinner that did something that we just haven't been told. They've just flat out lied to us about their past. I think that would be quite interesting as a twist. Still at it. Yes. I mean, I've taken a break for a while. But we are still going at it. As promised, I just had to take a short break from the challenge. The Frajutes helps out a lot. The Frajutes is very useful for the challenge. Huh? Can I kill this thing? Okay, hold on. This is like a secret stuff. True. Totally agree with my Limbus vs. LobCorp soundtrack. Thank you. We should probably not step in the way of that. That might be what kills us. Is it like just a sort of oh, it's just a hallway to hallway Dreaming Silk Current. I say just as if that still isn't really annoying, but... Okay, all of you get out. Yeah, I will say, okay, I know people like the Millie tracks, but I feel like, especially nowadays, I think Studio EIM, is it EIM? I think they're doing a better job of the tracks than Millie is. Because, like, especially with Tian Tian, I know Tian Tian has its fans. I like Tian Tian as a song. But I don't like it as a final track for the boss. I mean, I don't like the final boss either, really. But, like, compare, within Canto 8 alone, you have Studio EM coming up with Jiachu's fight, and, Lei Heng. Like, you've got those two incredible tracks, and then you've got Chen Chen. Which, Chen Chen's fine. Chen Chen's nice. I found Chen Chen is nice while studying. It's good for when you've just got, like, a textbook you've got to read, or some work you've just got to get done. It's quite good for that. But in terms of actual, like, enjoyment during the canto, yeah, no. It's definitely definitely in the latest cantos it's most explicit. EM has learnt how to make songs for Limbus, whereas Millie is... I don't want to say they're doing worse, but they're not doing as good, I feel, in comparison. Chen Chen doesn't build up in a good... Yeah, okay. I do have to say that. Chen Chen has the favourite build-up I have of any of the songs. That, not like the entire thing. I mean, the very start of Chen Chen, that purely instrumental thing, that purely instrumental part of Chen Chen, filled me with so much hope. I really like the way that was building. And then the song takes a right turn and develops in an entirely different direction that doesn't really fit that initial music. Which, yeah, I mean, fair enough, I can't fault you, it's your song, but, like, it felt like there was something so cool there that they could, you know, build into, but... Between Two Worlds goes crazy. Okay, Between Two Worlds I do have to agree with. It's very good. I don't quite like Compass. Compass feels like the Marmite of Limbus Company songs. Like, some people really love Compass, and then other people's really dislike Compass. I personally am more in the I don't really get the point of Compass. I feel like it doesn't build anywhere in particular for me. Which, I mean, I'm like, there are people that enjoy it. There are definitely people that enjoy it, but, yeah. Not me. I am not one of the enjoyers of Compass. Okay, next up we have... Welcome to the facility, Chicken Sandwich. Welcome to the facility, Chicken Sandwich. Perfectly fitting for NetSack's department. Right. It's forgettable. Yeah, it is. I definitely think... Okay. I far prefer the Ruiner tracks. I think Millie does a better job with Ruiner tracks than she does with Limbus. I think, okay, one thing I dislike about Millie's music, and this is, I'm not sure if this is just a personal gripe or something, she makes all her songs both for herself and for the game. Which is fine. That's a creative decision she's made. But compare it to, like, the brilliant stuff you get from, like, Toby Fox's music. Because Toby Fox can fit proper leitmotifs. Or leitmotifs? Leitmotifs. Toby Fox can fit proper leitmotifs into the story. And the songs play a part in the story as well as the tracks. And I think that's missing from quite a few other games. Purely because Millie has to make the songs fit themselves as individual songs as well as feeding back into each other. And I mean, EEM could do it as well. I mean, it is a little bit of a double standard to say, oh, why aren't they including leitmotifs? And then the other studio isn't. But I feel like that's they couldn't include leitmotifs with it. And I feel like it detracts from the song a bit to have it fit that dual purpose. Alright, the leitmotifs and Lei Heng's theme. Yeah. Studio EEM can do some good work with it, but it's... Millie's songs don't really have a... They don't mesh. They don't mesh. Like, especially Chen Chen. Chen Chen has... Like, it's tangentially fitting to Honglu. I think the closest to a... Actually... Oh, I forgot. An actually really properly fitting one for the story is Through Patches of Violet. I think Through Patches of Violet is... You could assume that Through Patches of Violet was supposed to be for Canto 6. And Between Two Worlds in some degree... I mean, I really like Between Two Worlds, actually. I do think it's quite good. But Chen Chen, it's not specific enough. It feels... And I know this isn't the right term, because there's no way I could compose at the same level that Millie can, but it feels lazy. Like, you're an artist, and you've been commissioned to make a track for something. Don't just make your own music whilst you're at it. Make a track. It would be like Toby... So, you know, like, Toby Fox got commissioned to make, the remake of Pepper Steak. And, of course, I think he got given... God, what did he get given? I think he actually got given, like, Ghost Dance as something they wanted as inspiration for it. He's been given his own songs quite a few times, but could you imagine if Toby Fox, as well as making the remix of Pepper Steak, made that one of his own songs as well? That feels selfish. You are an artist that has been commissioned to do a job. Do your job. Which, I don't know, that might just be me. That might just be me that feels that way, but I can't get away from the feeling that it feels kind of selfish. Still, I could just be going insane, but it's hard to express what you're feeling without sounding like a jerky at it, yeah. It's... Because, yeah, everybody works in their own way, and I mean, PM obviously doesn't care because they've got a contract with them that probably stipulates that, but... What do you think about Broken Wings? Broken Wings does fit. Broken Wings does fit. But the thing is, it could fit more. Couldn't it? Like, because, okay, just to bring up, I can't obviously play Millie music, but if you keep in mind any Millie track, and then I keep bringing up Toby Fox, because I really like Toby Fox as a composer, but if I bring up, like, Big Shot, because, oh, no, let me bring up Hammer of Justice, because I think Hammer of Justice is a great way to describe what I'm saying about leitmotifs. Leitmotifs. So, immediately off the bat, you've got the rooting in... I mean, hold on. Immediately off the bat, you've got... It's bringing up the prior things of... So, Undyne has taken from that. So it's taking from Undyne's sort of leitmotif. It's the similar sort of style, trained. So you've already got immediately a link to a prior character and song. And then, if I keep listening... Because just... You've got... There, you can hear already the attack sound from the game, which is interesting to bring into somebody who's... This is very clearly a fighting thing. Trying to listen out for it, but... I mean, you also have Waterfall. I'm not sure where it is, but at some point... Oh. The Freedom comes up, which... Which game is it? This is from Deltarune Chapter 3. This is Deltarune Chapter 4, specifically. I'm trying to listen out for it, but I can't. But... Can't quite hear it. I think it's there. I think that is Freedom B. But... So then you've got, as well as bringing in the things of, oh yeah, so here's the character's prior links to a character in the game, from a previous game, showing you that mentorship link, so you've already got that grounded in that character. You then have the Freedom leitmotif, which, yet again, talking more about leitmotifs, that then harkens back to other characters you've seen, but it's a shattered leitmotif, allowing you to see that their version of Freedom is different to all the bosses that we've seen otherwise. So, already from just the music alone, you can grasp a lot about a character, and Shude EM does that quite a bit in their tunes. For example, Vigilius's theme, if you listen to, God, what would it be? Canto 6, Vigilius saving... Oh, hold on, Vigilius entrance music. I believe this is it. So... I'm not sure if it's when it comes up, but it's the clear. There are certain, like, yeah, this bit. So there, the subtlety of... Oh, I accidentally quit the game. But just, you get the point. With just a little bit of effort in composition, they've allowed a song to tell... Is that, you find the Wild Hunt, not him coming in? Hold on. Let me look for the specific part of it. Because it's more obvious. Stage music. I think it is that. It's the... Because it's not the... This is after he comes in, I believe, because it's D plays beforehand, this is before he arrives, and then this plays. And I mean, if you skip to, like, midpoint... There's the leitmotif more clearly. So, you've got there, just with a little bit of effort, the song can tell so much more of the story. Whereas with Millie, I don't think they have a single leitmotif. They might do. I don't know. I haven't really looked, but I would be really interested to see if her songs do have leitmotifs. But I don't think they do. And I think that detracts from it. Or rather than... Okay, detracts is a strong word. I don't think it detracts from it. I think it stops it from being as good as it could be. I think with a little bit of change there, it could be so much better. Same name as he has the book. I don't think they have any... the tracks have any names. Because also it would be the Divine Comedy, which isn't... I don't think that's right. Or, like, what Virgilius are we talking about here? Is it Virgilius' poetry, the Divine Comedy, Inferno? There's a lot of different things it could be. I don't want to use a bullet, thank you. Not you, you've already walked. You, and you. Would really like to work with them well, that would be nice. But yeah, so it's less me criticizing... Weird news. It's less me saying, oh, this is terrible, absolutely unlistenable, rah, we should protest. It's more so, with a little bit of a change, it could add so much more to the story. It's my top 3 Project Moon tracks. Okay, so I know I've just spent quite a while bashing on Millie, but I quite like Children of the City. But honestly, one of my favourite Project Moon tracks has to be the comedy. The Parade. I love the Parade. It's such a good track. Don's voice actor did such a good job singing that. It's a bop. It's just a genuine bop. I listen to it sometimes whilst I'm doing things, just for fun. It's so cool. When back when I was, I think, writing the script for the Lobcourt video, actually, I listened to the Parade. It's so good. Okay, I'm actually going to give people bullets here because, you know, we have the technology. Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf's cool. Lone Wolf has connotations for me because, you know, the stupid amounts of time I spent on Backclef. Whenever we get stuck on a boss now, chat recommends I bring up Lone Wolf. Some faintly hear clock in the soundtrack, like in the sort of Heathcliff light. Yeah, that's a really cool thing too. I really like it when you can do that. And it's stronger in certain tracks than others. And it does tie into the story of Ruiner quite well, because Heathcliff himself talks about, yeah, the thing that kept him from utterly, you know, losing it was that he could still hear the clock ticking. And I find that really cool that, yeah, whilst we're fighting it, we can hear Dante. Dante is part of the track. So even we can hear Dante. Which I think that's quite a cool... That's a nice little tie into the story there. You really love Iron Lotus. Iron Lotus is cool. Iron Lotus is cool. Honestly, I will say, I think most of the floor themes in Ruiner are bangers. Just like... I don't think I have it, but like... I mean, I have Keitha 3 downloaded, but there's so many cool variations on Keitha 3. I love it. Because I have it right here. Just as a... That's very loud. But I think one of them I particularly like is actually, funnily enough, the Eurobeat version. Also, it's hard to make Keitha 3 not a good song. Just whatever, it's like Megalovania in that way. It's kind of hard to ruin it. It's just it's so good. Okay. Whoops. What voice songs do have leitmotifs? I don't think... Well, the Parade, but I don't think any Millie song has leitmotifs. I mean, I can check, actually. Wait, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Fuck. It took me a moment to realize that that wasn't something spawning in. Something that I could kill. Whoops. I may be stupid, chat. I may be stupid. It's just sometimes... You know how, like, bulls start seeing red? Well, they don't, but, like... You know, the saying of seeing red, like, it's like that, but with literary analysis for me. I just start seeing patterns in the narrative, and I get utterly distracted. How the fuck? Is that killing them because they worked with them a lot before I retried the day? Hold on. Is this a LobCorp bug? This may be a yeah. Oh, okay, Project Moon. Okay, thank you. Or can you just not do repression with them? Or... Because I'm fairly certain you can do repression. I'm fairly certain... Oh, you're supposed to do attachment, but... Still, that's a... Project Moon code moment. Yeah, one more bug to the pile, truly. What a game. What a game. I demand 300 lunacy immediately. Can you override lyrical to my theme with the floor theme if you have enough emotion level? No. It's the boss. The boss playing kills the music. So as soon as you kill the boss, the music stops. So yeah. Same with... well, Zhao's a single fight, but it's the same sort of logic. You should do a list of all the bugs in LobCorp. Okay, that reminds me. I did actually have a challenge run I wanted to try. Is it possible to beat Lobotomy Corporation without ever encountering a bug? I think the answer is a fairly resounding no, but I think it would be interesting to try. It's like that, if any of you ever seen that security breach thing that somebody tried to beat, you know, without encountering bugs. But... I think it'd be interesting to try. I don't think it would be possible. I think it would be, you know, hellish, but... And it would probably end immediately, but still. The bullets already don't work. Really? Big Bird cannot exist within your facility permanently because it's bugged at all times. I know it can clip out of reality sometimes. I'm not quite sure why it clips out of reality, all I know is that it does, because it did for me before. I love in video games, on the topic of the Red Mist with her music triggering, I love it when bosses have diegetic music. Because it's like, you know, Ricardo. Apparently the Middle Finger Tojo is an actual in-world track that he just has somebody carry around with him. It's brilliant. Hold on, chat, one moment. Sorry, Chad, I just heard a very loud crashing noise, and that that made me jump slightly. Thankfully, I can't see if anything's fallen. I don't think anything's fallen. Nothing appears broken. That fucking noon that I hate. So I think we're all good. She got jump scared. Let's get a repression for you. Using patch to fix the upgrade helps so much. How is so? Okay, when I say, hold on, how are they broken? How are the upgrades broken? Out of curiosity. I'm always interested in learning new bugs for this game because there's so many of them, to be honest. Let's go repression review again. It straight up just doesn't increase the healing. Brilliant. Okay. I wouldn't really classify that as a bug. That's just an oversight. There's a difference, in my opinion, between an oversight and a code and a bug. Like, poor... why doesn't YouTube have a translator? Yeah, I have no idea. True, simply root from what it sowed. I don't want flesh tree. Shelter is... I'll pick up shelter. Why not? The flag is never turned on. Yeah, that's... is that a bug? I don't think it's a bug. You'd just call that a... Yeah, I think it is just an oversight. Assume Big Bird being immune to meltdown a bug. Okay, it gets... Okay, the definition of a bug gets a bit hazy. I would say if it's... What I would classify as a bug is as the point at which the bug becomes visible is when I would consider things. So, for example, people say that the memory glitch is like a common bug in LobCorp. I've never actually experienced it, so I wouldn't count the memory leak as permanently ongoing, because I've never experienced it. Also, the crash would probably count as a more literal point at which that triggers, but you know, shh. Stop ruining my flawed argument. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think it would be interesting to try and collate every bug in LobCorp. I think it would be hard to do because there's a ton of them. So Nugget stuck in the containment chamber and it died. He couldn't assign other work orders to that Abno. Okay, I would be interested if you would be interested in seeing a video of every bug in LobCorp. I may make a place on the Discord server for people to post clips of bugs they've seen, because I think that would be interesting to collate into one video. Just to finally have a list of, do we know, or maybe to start with, I would do a collection of, like, do you reckon LobCorp will have 50 bugs, right? Oh. Can I help translate it? I'm afraid my Mandarin is very lacking. What is Zhongren Buhenhao? I'm very out of practice. I don't quite know how to say that, but I do remember my Mandarin is very bad. That's the limit of my knowledge. Really? Yeah, what is Zhongren Buhenhao? $50 Lobotomy Corporation video when... Honestly, okay. If people give me a list of bugs that they've experienced, I will make a 50... I will make a video of that, because I can do that quite quickly. So a one-time immortal clerk killing Gebura. That's a famous one. Honestly, I think the hardest part would be getting footage of all the bugs. There we are. Did I send somebody to work with Charlie Galaxy accidentally? Classic Gebura gets stuck here. Watching you for play games because it's a lot of fun. Thank you. I wish I could speak better Mandarin to help you enjoy the stream, but I'm afraid not. I would need to do a lot more practice to get back up to par, or I mean par very literally. I should probably say subpar, to be honest. I was never that good at speaking it to begin with. I'm gonna speedrun a Love Lost that at a glitchless category. A glitchless category of Love Court would probably be harder than the main one, purely because just dodging the glitches. But yeah, I mean, I can think of a few that I want to show off, because, like, we can change anything plus portrait bug. That doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, and I've tried it before. So, it's one of those, it's a weird one, because it's very much a every copy of Lobotomy Corporation is personalized sort of moment. Because there are people that, like, adamantly testify it works. And then for me personally, I've tried to get it to work before on stream. Like, you've seen me do it in the base ego challenge, or no ego challenge. And you've seen it doesn't work. Okay, I don't like Singing Machine. Leisha's fine. Then Meat Lantern's terrible, so we pick up Leisha. Meat Lantern is funny to allow us... Okay, so here, chat. By the way, just to explain what... There is a bug I could pull off here, I think. If I was to day one reset right now, I have something going on called Abno Storage. What Abno Storage is effectively... That abnormality I just picked up is sort of in a limbo. I can't really look at the code to demonstrate that. But if I was to reset to day one right now, the code immediately checks for, well, okay, we're running the command, place an abno in here, right? And then it goes, oh, we don't have an abnormality here, we've got to run the checking code. So then they check and they go, oh, it's day one, the only abno we can pull from is Wonton. But if, for whatever reason, that initial, like, you know, that initial, there's an abnormality here waiting, is already filled in, for whatever reason, when the code checks it here to go, oh, we need one, it's like, well, we've already got one. We can just look back at that prior one and slot that in there. So that performs the glitch called Abno Storage. So last time of this, we used it unintentionally to bring Grave of Cherry Blossoms, and we brought Grave of Cherry Blossoms from our first one and put it here on our first day, which is not good. I didn't do that intentionally. That happened purely accidentally because I had no idea Abno Storage happened until then. But yeah. In safety with the alcoholic evil. I mean, Soul... As Soul... This is Soul, not Salt. Soul is somewhere over there. Do day one silent orchestra. You could, in theory, you could just soft lock... Well, you don't soft lock your game because then when you reset back to day one again, it's cleared the cache, so it can, you know, reset completely. But yeah, it's funny. That's a funny glitch. There's a few more I can think of that are quite easy to see. For example, the visual glitch. Why do these people have beards? I've never seen that before. When unlock COD, can I put you in there? If you were a member, then yes, I could. I do generally take... when I put members in the facility, I do generally take their, you know, placement. So yeah, I can't really demonstrate here because the visual glitch only shows when they're attacking, but pretty sure that's the ego gift from World Shares. Ah, so it is. Interesting. It looks unaligned. That's right. The soda just turns you into a divorced dad. Brilliant. Can you explain how additional ammo and control works? Which one's that? Additional ammo. I don't know what about getting an additional ammo. I know there's one that you can use to accidentally open up the lower levels of the facility early, because it's God. Fluffy Towels, if you're still in the stream, I'm talking about your glitch here that you discovered. It's the one where you can actually, the button to click expand and cancel is at the same time. So is at the same place. So you can click both of them at the same time, sort of, and use that to rapidly just expand the department. And that allows you to get access to the lower levels before time. They sadly don't trigger the actual things you need for early days, so you can't use it to, you know, beat the game early, but still. Then when we get another Abno on top of the elevator on the left to control where you take the elevator. You can do that? I've not actually seen that one before. I'd have to do some research into it. I'm sure, with a little bit of help from you guys especially, I could definitely come up with 50 bugs of this game. And the works for extraction, you just spam left click to make it work. Yeah. It's still quite funny that that it works at all, to be honest. Let's have a soft lock you once you reach day 45. Brilliant. What a game. What a game. Yeah, so I would probably organize it in terms of the more commonly seen ones, and then I'd go into the more esoteric ones, like Big Bird casually clipping out of existence. Mistakenly get 2 Abnos on day 1. How do you get 2 Abnos on day 1? That sounds like some weird version of Abno storage that I have no idea how you'd pull off. Also, where in the world I had... Oh. It is gradually getting hotter in my room. Balloon piano lady doesn't count as valve suppression when you suppress it. There are a few things like that, actually. Things that don't actually count as what they should do. Somebody was telling me about these coding oversights. It's... the factories. The factories are Alephs. The green factories are Alephs despite being valves, so they take less damage from you. Which is... or... yeah, I think they are. Which is cursed. Okay. Let's wait for everyone to get into place. So I could just do that. Okay. That should do fine. So stress queen doesn't count towards valve because our minions are only He's, yeah. I mean, oh god, what other interesting ones do we have? I'm trying to think of other because I mean, most of the interesting ones I know are... okay, so if you use backwards clock on green noon, just occasionally it just, you know, dies. No, not dies. Just occasionally backwards clock doesn't trigger, which causes all of them die, but they don't actually die and sort of leave behind a shadow that can still walk around the facility. Which is cursed. Big Bird has a ton of glitches. Big Bird is basically a walking glitch, to be honest. Just because they can clip out of reality, they can cause insta-kills, they can do a ton of weird stuff. You can suppress them on occasion, and they just refuse to be suppressed. They do some weird things. Okay. Have the bugs and the listener shows a whole bunch of Lobcock bugs. Oh, that'd be useful. Be immune to meltdowns, yeah. It's how? How are they that poorly coded? Comment toilet even after being suppressed. Yep, that sounds fun. That's what happened to me on the non-winning Apocalypse Bird killing run. I suppressed them, and despite the fact that they were suppressed, they were locked in a permanent not suppressed mode that caused most of my people to die. And yeah, I remember being annoyed about that rather distinctly, because it is very annoying. Anyway, as you'll see here, that Abno that was in storage is now here. Which is it's the sort of the way that Abno storage works, because then it'd actually have been put in here rather than here. Anyway, let us add to the facility. we have... After chicken sandwich. Chicken sandwich, I should say. Let me get that name right. Filter, current level, librarian, last update. Next up in the facility, we have E. Brilliant name. Too much sauce. Spelt wrong. Brilliant. And then we have... No. And you may not believe it, but right after no is okay. So we'll have both no and okay here. Oh, there's the other one. I can actually show this one off right now. If I quickly breach Void Dream... yeah, I'm not going to, but... Void Dream has a funny one that if Void Dream makes an employee fall asleep, there's a chance you won't be able to wake them up, and it just flat out kills them. Because, yeah, that's fun. That's good. Leisha's... Yeah, you just keep working with them. Maybe they've 45 to 49 selecting. That's quite funny, actually. So you could just get multiple Defrays. Just have a firing squad in your facility. Let's get down off these. I think we've got all of them now. Yeah. Death on the second trumpet. The bigger suit escaping doesn't allow danger level lower. Interesting. You saw Sensor twice and you had to take it. Oh, I wouldn't want to take Sensor. Although very funny, I would not want to take Sensor twice. I think I'd prefer to do literal... Well, actually, it could be worse, I suppose. You could get Silent Orchestra twice. There are fates worse than death. Does the 7th bullet cooldown count for both of them? I don't... The 7th bullet... that's actually another glitch, actually. The 7th bullet of Defray is actually dependent on the meltdowns. So every time the meltdown trigger occurs, it clears 7th bullet. Which is hilarious. Just... The Defray is so funny. Because, yeah, it doesn't work. It's like, oh yeah, every 7th bullet will move. No, not like that. It's every 7th bullet within a meltdown. And frankly, if you have to use 7 bullets within a meltdown, something has gone wrong. Something that is going to kill you has already gone wrong at that point. But yeah. That's a funny one. You lot, go kill that. Yeah, he just gives you extra bullets for free. What a kind man. Truly a distinguished gentleman. Yeah, you can work on that one. I don't care. Shroud of the Galaxy will actually do something if they... Well, they can't breach. Nothing I have can breach, really, actually. Actually, can it? Void Dream can breach, and Void Dream would be very annoying if it breached. But I'm fairly certain most other things can't breach here. They'll be able to steal energy from me, which is annoying, but otherwise not problematic. There we are. What? What are you doing? Go on, attack! Did I not click on that? Did I manage to misclick? Look at this, Clerk's putting in the work here. Also, yeah, see that? This is a visual glitch. Every single person here is equipped with the same ego gear, which I can show off here. So, and as you can see, sometimes it displays the wrong models. Which, I'm not sure if that's something that's expressly limited to the baton. Because it would make sense if it's limited to the baton, because frankly, who bug checks the baton? Like, seriously, I don't think they expected anybody to use this thing for more than, like, a second. But yeah, that one's quite funny. I think it happens too with, from memory, the Phoenix's weapon also occurs a visual glitch to occur on occasion. I can't remember if it is that one particularly, but I do know. But yeah. It is rather funny. There are definitely a few glitches like that you're probably not supposed to encounter, but just due to the sheer amount of absurd things I've done, I've encountered them. No, you're annoying. Not you. Red Shoes it is. Red Shoes is annoying, but we physically can't work with Justice Birds, and, yeah, I don't want to pick up, I can't even remember what the middle one was there. I just remember that I didn't want to pick it up. Anyway. This is just... Light Temperance, Red Mushroom, yes, Red Mushroom. The reason we don't want Red Hood is due to the fact that we just can't contain Red Hood. It's impossible. Like, just flat out, she deals far too much damage to us, we will die. That's the reason why we don't do that, in case you're curious. Because I happen to like not dying. I think it's a pretty important part of the strategy. Not dying. And the problem really is the fact that she begins to breach on Abno Breach. And yeah, that's, we have a lot of those. I'm going to work with A-list with no gear. Portrait gaming. Why not 1 next to everything? Because there are no pale abnormalities at the beginning. The pale makes sense. You're supposed... It's to incentivize you to switch as soon as possible. I think it does make sense, personally, to have black and pale take increased damage from it. Just as a way to really reinforce, you shouldn't be wearing this still. You should have moved on to better things. However, unfortunately for the sake of Project Moon, I don't... That sign can't stop me because I can't read. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but just a standard, like, suit doesn't protect my very soul from being attacked. I'd like a little bit something... I'd like something a little bit stronger to help with that. See, this is the point where I transition into a sponsor if I had one. Unfortunately, the whole soul protection business is a little bit down on its luck nowadays, you know. Tariffs and all that. Not a good business for soul sponsorship business. I mean, soul protection business. We don't like the connotations of that damage type. In what way? I'm fairly certain it doesn't... It's not suggesting you have a soul specifically, it's just... I mean... Actually, no, I guess it does suggest you have a soul. And it does just suggest that it eats away at it. I mean, if... It doesn't just suggest that, it says that one for one. The reading literacy is, truly incredible. Evidently, most nuggets are just strong enough to deal with their soul being corroded, though, because, you know, it's like a... It's something that barely even inconveniences them to be revived from. Project Moon hasn't introduced it back into any game yet. True, but, I mean, they haven't reintroduced any damage type back into any of the games yet. You'll fine. Shiko's a little bit worse for that. Honestly, I'm gonna give you that. Just goes might as well. I I mean, it could more metaphorically be talking about the soul, as in, like, the very core of your being. Or, I mean, it could be talking about an actual soul, too, to be honest. That the soul is real and it's being eaten. Please, could you all actually hit your target? This is the most annoying thing about the perfect food. Just that it takes, like, a bunch of finagling to actually hit the things. Chicken sandwich. Oh wow, we're beginning to actually run out of things to train with them. Seeing his SP damage, that doesn't quite line up. That doesn't quite line up. I wouldn't say. Because if that's the case, then... I mean, that's not really how... I guess it kind of is. They do panic, in all fairness. Doing Amber Midnight sounds so mind-numbing with Eagles. Thankfully, Defray helps. Running out of things to talk about as well, so tell a story, funny man. Do I exist solely to entertain? Is that my only purpose on this stream? Oh, and yes. That is my purpose here. The streamer is supposed to tell stories. Balls full of hearts, no. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck off. Fuck you and fuck off too. Day 18, by the way. Day 18. Great one. Great one. Thank you, Lobcorp. Day 18. Would you like Silent Orchestra or Nothing There? No. No, I don't think I do. I don't think I do want them, actually, thank you. I think I'll take Warm-Hearted Woodsman. I'm fine, actually, game. I don't want that. I don't want that. Looks like I'll be getting Warm-Hearted Woodsman. I didn't want Warm-Hearted Woodsman, but I will take them over Nothing There or Silent Orchestra. One of those is considerably worse than the others. I mean, one of those is considerably better than the others. Right. Our next member is... Drumroll please, chat. We have... Eager99. Yeah, 99. There we go. Warm-hearted. True, we can just ignore Warm-Hearted Woodsman. Like, it's fairly easy to just not talk to them. Why is your axe already raised, guy? Eh. Okay, E, you're just gonna work with them permanently for the rest of the day. Anyway, so, okay, story time. Okay, chat, what would you like to hear a story about? Let's hear it. What would you all like me to talk about? Because I do have a fair repertoire of stories, but it's always good to know what sort of thing people want. I forgot meltdowns don't matter at the moment. Me beating up children. I don't have any more stories to tell of me beating up children. We've covered them all. There's no more. Also, I wasn't beating them up. I wasn't beating them up. I was a child at the time, so it's fine to do that. Also, it was a duel. We both agreed to it. Every single one of those was agreed to by both parties. It wasn't me just going around beating up children. That's not what I did. I'm gonna get cancelled for something I haven't even done. Sort of how said Queen Elizabeth during the Trojan War. Lie detector. What do you mean lie detector sound? Food related. Okay, I could talk about my favourite food. So, I am curious to know what everybody's favourite food is, because for me, my favourite food is... Do any of you know Reform Club lamb. If not, I'll have to explain what Reform Club lamb is. But I really like Reform Club lamb because it's this sort of... So you all know lamb cutlets, presumably. Or, well, okay, so lamb cutlets are like a... You know, like a T-bone steak of something. That's what a cutlet is, basically. So, Reform Club lamb is a breaded cutlet that you then... It comes with mash, and then a sauce which is... I don't actually know what the sauce is, but it has like pickles, eggs, and ham. It's quite nice. Where did they run to here? You lot should probably attack this thing as well. And then it can pick. Very fair. I think if there was one meat I could never give up, it would have to be pork. I love pork. It's so good. It goes with everything too, basically. I can't think of very many recipes which are made worse by the addition of pork. Just like, yeah, at all. Can't really think of any. Cake. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I wasn't expecting that. To be honest, I should have. I should have expected that. So you eat virtually any food. Ah, very fair. Honestly, same here. I have foods that I enjoy most. I have sort of an interesting relationship with food. Because... I'll eat anything. Really. But I do still have favourite meals that I'll eat more than others. Okay, let's wait for that. Bless you. Thank you. I can cook anything. Yeah, so like... I don't eat breakfast, personally. Oh, portrait. I don't eat breakfast, personally. And I've said that to some people, and they've just, like, they've looked at me as if I've, like, murdered their cat or something. They're like, they'll just lean in and go, you don't eat breakfast? How do you live? And, like, there'll be a chime of somebody cutting into the conversation like, oh, you poor thing, is something wrong? Can you not afford breakfast? It's like, no! I can afford breakfast! Well, I have enough money that I can afford to spend some on breakfast if I wanted to. But I don't. Why would I want to eat breakfast? I don't get it. Not only do I save money, I also save space to then eat better food later. Like, I don't get it. Okay, let's get to working. Oh, there goes the Queen of Hatred cosplay. I fear the day I have to open that back up again. I fear the day that donation goal gets, you know, reopened to the public. That's terrifying. It's sort of Damocles, I swear. Pork is a poor man's food. I don't care. It's delicious. It's delicious and it's cheap. Like, yeah, okay, call it a poor man's food all you like. It tastes fucking delicious. Can't eat breakfast if you wake up at 2. Very fair, very fair. It's sort of hard to eat breakfast then. Like, I do like fine foods. Like, I mean, I obviously don't eat it very much, but I used to, like, on occasion, like a very rare, like, Christmas, there'd be a little bit of, like, foie gras. Or it would be more often we'd have goose liver. Because goose liver is actually decently cheap. And I love that. It's creamy, it's delicious. It's full of human rights violations. So I can still appreciate fine taste, but equally, like, stuff doesn't have to have a massive price tag to be good to eat. Like, a good burger, a well-made burger is amazing. And, like, I've seen burgers sold for, like, £4. That's incredible. I'd eat about 10. If they were made well. I'm not just gonna go around eating 4 quid burgers if they taste like shit. But yeah. Okay. Green Dawn, let's just wait for... Honestly, I think having you work there solves that solution best. Yeah, I feel bad for people that don't enjoy eating food. Because food's great. What else are you supposed to do if you with your, you know, meal times if you don't eat food? Just, like, stare at the wall. Okay, that is another thing. I'm curious. When do people eat? Because I feel like some of my friends are really weird. Because, like, I eat, like, late. I eat, like, you know, 7 to 8-ish. 7 to 8-ish is when I eat. But some of my friends will tell me, like, what? I'm like, I'll call them and go, hey, do you want to go do something? You know, do you want to, I mean, just play Hoi 4. I don't really say Hoi 4, I probably say EU4 more often. Or just, do you want to play anything, you know? But I'll be like, sorry, I can't, I'm eating dinner. The fuck do you mean eating dinner? It's 3 in the afternoon! Like, oh yeah, no, I'm busy. Busy with what? 5 PM. Sorry, I gotta eat my fucking, like, what? Also, what do you mean? Did I... Oh, a cluck. You eat when you're hungry. Oh, that's fair. Actually, that's fair. You eat breakfast at 5 p.m. Breakfast? Hold on, I had to reread that sentence. Okay, yeah, we deal more damage than you here, Bucko. Right. Okay, do you work like a night shift or something? Because that would make that statement make sense. Otherwise, you're just... I mean, I hate to say it, but you might just be kind of weird. Why did I do instinct there? Huh. Strange. Right. Yeah, we're fine still. You just kind of forget to eat in the morning. So you eat breakfast rather than just waiting till dinner? Do you, like, not eat lunch, or...? Are you just counting breakfast as the first meal of the day rather than, like, a select group of foods? I'm gonna suppress White Knight. White Knight would kill us. White Knight deals 80% of our HP with that pulse attack. I genuinely don't think it is possible for us to suppress White Knight. Even if I wanted to. Breakfast is the first meal of the day. I would disagree. I think breakfast is a very specific type of food. Because breakfast foods, you can have... There's a difference between having leftovers for breakfast and breakfast foods. Like, I would say a breakfast food is like toast or cereal or something. Whereas, like, I think lunch and dinner, you've got more leeway. Like, lunch and dinner can be separate things. But breakfast is a very specific thing. It's like, I wouldn't say eating a bowl of cereal with milk is a breakfast food. That's cutting it, I think. That's pushing it a little bit. Whereas, like, there's more leeway for dinner. There's more leeway for dinner items, I feel. Just dinner and lunch, because dinner and lunch... I once had somebody with, like, disgust in their voice tell me that they couldn't understand why British people ate cold food for lunch. And he went on what had to have been, like, at least a half-an-hour tirade about how he found it disgusting that British people ate cold lunches. And this is just stuck with me. Because, like, we went on a message, I can't believe you eat sandwiches. Savages. What? You don't, like, warm things? I was like, no, because it started with, I can't believe, it was something about, I can't believe you eat sandwiches for lunch. And, like, salads. And I was like, what's wrong with salads? And he like, with the most bitterness I can think of, he was like, it's cold. Why would you eat cold food for lunch? What do you mean? What? From the East, yeah, they were Chinese. And just, the vitriol. I've never seen somebody so annoyed at the concept of people eating a cold lunch. Wait until they find out about, like, delis. Some people eat, like, slabs of cold meat for lunch. Like, they'd have an aneurysm. Right, let's get you. I think they had more leeway with drinks. I think drinks were fine. It was just, like, the food itself being cold they were annoyed about. And, I mean, for a start, who gets annoyed about what sort of, like, types of, like, temperatures of food people are eating? Like, it feels like such a strangely pedantic thing to get annoyed about. Like, it wasn't just a, oh, I don't really like eating cold food for lunch. It was a, I can't believe people would eat cold food for lunch. Like, he actually genuinely sounded annoyed at the prospect. Like he would see other people eating cold lunches, and he'd just, like, suddenly go into cold sweat. Yeah. Very, very interesting person. Very interesting person. They did also believe that the Chinese government was constantly looking for them. Like I'm talking non-stop. They'd say that sort of stuff. Like, it'd be, like, we'd just be talking about something entirely unrelated, and he'd suddenly find a way to segue the conversation into, I'm really scared the Chinese government is going to steal me away. This is like a teenager. He would have had no links to dissident groups. I don't know why he was afraid the Chinese government was going to, like, kidnap him or something. It's justified without predatory. I don't understand why they'd care about some random British kid, though. Because, like, he was from Hong Kong and moved over to Britain. Which, okay, I can understand being scared if you're from Hong Kong and you move over. But, like, he wasn't, like, a revolutionary or anything. He had no, you know, extremist ties. I think he was just, like, schizophrenic or something, probably. Very interesting person. I've met a lot of interesting people, to be honest. Some less insane than others. A lot of them are still insane, though. Why is that clerk just standing still? Oh, no, he's not. You know, it's a shame. All the interesting people turn out to be insane. I don't know why. I've met a lot of interesting people in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, everyone in chat should join, because you'd make Kiwi very happy. I think she enjoys seeing the number go up, even though it gives her a sense of impending dread at the fact that she still needs to do staff applications and she hasn't gotten around to them yet. I think she likes seeing the number go up. So, if you would like to make Kiwi happy, please consider joining today. Should we eat? Yeah, it makes no sense. I want to eat what I want to eat. Just as long as I'm not, like, being a cannibal. Like, at that point, I think people have a right to judge what I'm eating. But if it's just, like, a particular meal I enjoy, yeah, leave me alone. That's my food. Also, yeah, I'm not gonna say that word, because that would lead to everybody getting crushed. Anyway. We have to pick up Fairy Festival there, the other two are too annoying. Schadenfreude. Ah, these are bad picks. I don't want to pick up Old is awesome. so we have to pick up Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude? It's definitely not Schadenfreude. I think it's Schadenfreude. That's a great one. You're arresting me. What's the crime? Enjoying a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Singing machine is harmless. No, it isn't. Singing machine, if you get the gift, they can bump somebody's fortitude to up past 3 into 4 and just instantly kill them. So, no, they're pretty harmful. Pretty harmful. That's not a bug, that's just an unintended mechanic with how the game works. Yeah. What if you don't work with it? I don't want to... I mean, Schadenfreude is less dangerous than me not working with it. Like, this thing is less dangerous even with that. Anyway, it is now time to add people to the list. So first and foremost... What in the world is that name? I'm going to quickly just randomize them a little bit. Welcome to the facility, CPT. And now I can't remember anyone else on the list, so I'm quickly going to just have to check. Something went wrong. Please try and make it right. Right, okay, must be past day 37. Ugh. We still got... I mean, we've made decent progress today, to be honest, even though it's been decently boring. I mean, I'm sure this is fun and engaging content for everybody watching at home, surely. Post Ignis. Welcome to the facility. Let be. Zura. And finally, Ms. Rock. Welcome to the facility all. I will try not to have you die. Right. Azeroth, any tips for Venus suppression? With Venus suppression, the rabbits can deal a lot of damage to begin with. They're quite a good way to get, you know, a decent amount of damage off quickly. After that, just make sure to deal with all the meltdowns. Because all the meltdowns have a really big problem with the fact that... Well, they don't have a really big problem. It's the fact that if you leave the meltdowns around for too long, then not only does she gain resistances, you then also have a bunch of meltdowns to deal with. So that would be my recommendation. Okay, here we are. Oh, I just realized these can melt down now. I forgot. We're actually gonna have to start paying attention to each individual meltdown. I can't quite look at that one right now, chat, because I assigned somebody to work with Schadenfreude. I find it very funny, I change the way I say that every single time I say it. Schadenfreude. I know that one's wrong. That one I know is wrong for sure. And I said for real. I had to get the like Metal Gear brain right out of my head for a second to be able to say that sentence. Please tell me Schadenfreude has been worked with. Yes, they have. I'm gonna leave things just quickly so whilst everyone works. Oh, they didn't even arrive yet.
I'll try hard master. Good to see Lobotomy back. Yeah, welcome back. It's good to have Lobotomy back. Currently, we're just getting back to where we were before, really. So it's... No, you've not missed much so far. Just rambling about different things. Rightio. Okay, let's have Soul work there, and then you lot get down here. Attack here, attack here, attack here, attack here, attack here. We should be fine here. Right. Should probably just a few pulls that's harmless. Yeah. It's quite useful to be able to check on. I forgot. Who did I... Oh, who is under the fairy's protection? Nobody? Nobody. It is useful to just... we don't actually need to work with them. They're Zayn. They don't actually get us very much energy at all. I'm worried about Chicken Sandwich working with them because they don't have very high temperance. Ear concept. Do you mean the abnormality or the, like, the thing itself? Like, the emotion of Schadenfreude itself? Because, I mean, Schadenfreude itself is, like... depending on who you ask, it's the root of all comedy. I've had some people try and tell me that Truth and Pain are comedy. I disagree. I don't think they're identical to comedy. But the joy of other people suffering is definitely an aspect of certain parts of comedy. Especially like if you've ever seen those You've Been Framed sort of stuff. Those are classics. So yeah, there's definitely an aspect of pain with comedy. I mean, slapstick comedy is very deeply tied into just people suffering, really. It is an interesting one. Especially, the question is, like, why do we laugh when people get hurt? That's what I don't understand. Like, there's one that really got me recently, because I've been watching more of that sort of stuff just randomly out of, because like my algorithm has decided for some reason that actually I really enjoy looking at that sort of stuff. So I've been recommended a lot more recently. And I don't understand is, yeah, there's one particular clip of somebody like getting hit in the back of the head by a plastic rubbish bin. Why is that so humorous? Why is it so funny to see a man get hit in the back of the head with a trash can? Like, I don't understand. Because I don't think it's anything inherently malicious. I'm not preying upon this random stranger I don't know's downfall, but it's funny to see them get hit by the trash can. Part of it could also be, I guess, the absurdity of it. Like, you don't really see people hit in the back of the head by trash cans, but like it's like those fail things, like people falling down the stairs. Why do you laugh at that? And I'm saying that, it sounds like when I say that, like I'm above it. No, I do that too. Why do I do that? Oh, Duffray. No, I don't think I'm going to be picking up you. You serve no purpose. Actually, that's an interesting one. I prefer Duffray. Duffray, not you. Can't remember what you are. Final chapter ends with the phrase "born again." Is that Flesh Idol? Or probably making a departure now. So yeah, I'm probably gonna. Actually, I'm probably done for the day, to be honest. The problem with LobCorp streaming, I'll definitely say, is it's compressor. Yeah, I thought so. Research notes. Oh yeah, no research notes. Great. problem with LobCorp, I find, is it just takes so much energy. Because it's... With Ruiner, you can just sort of do the same things over and over again, whereas with LobCorp, I don't think there's any way I could do a, 5-hour stream. Just at all. I think I'd get too tired too quickly. But yeah, I'll probably call it here for the day. Thank you for dropping by, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed a return to the LobCorp challenge. I haven't been recording this entire time, so I'm going to have the fun thing of waiting for YouTube to finish doing this so I can then record it. Not record it, download it from YouTube again. But until then, I'll see you all in the future. Bye for now.